Africa witnessed a dramatic ideological and personality clash that would be remembered for years. At the center of the storm stood Patriotic Alliance President Gayton McKenzie and Economic Freedom Fighters Commander-in-Chief Julius Malema, whose early morning confrontation turned the National Assembly into a stage for intense political combat. What began as an ordinary dispute over public safety and economic renewal quickly spiraled into a fierce, bare-knuckle verbal fight that left seasoned political observers stunned. McKenzie, sharp in street-level rhetoric and unyieldingly direct in style, arrived armed with facts, indignation, and a determination to expose what he called Julius Malema and the EFF's theater of deception. Taking the podium, he wasted no time escalating the tension in the chamber. "You speak of economic freedom," McKenzie began, "but your life is a monument to elite hypocrisy. You wear Gucci while children in Limpopo go to school without shoes. You preach revolution while dining in Santan. Who are you fooling?" Gasps filled the room as McKenzie attacked Malema's public image, accusing him of exploiting the suffering of the poor for personal advancement. "You condemn colonialism, yet you behave like a colonizer, ruling the EFF like a king while pretending to serve the people," he continued. Attempts by EFF members to disrupt him were quickly shut down by the speaker, who allowed McKenzie to proceed uninterrupted as he delivered his argument with force and precision. True to character, Julius Malema tried to retaliate with his usual defiance, calling McKenzie a sellout and accusing him of serving white monopoly capital. But McKenzie remained unfazed. "You don't intimidate me, Julius," he shot back. "I'm not one of your EFF members. You cannot bully me. I've lived the life you claim to understand. I've been incarcerated. I've built businesses. I've fed people. What have you done besides shouting in red overalls and crushing what little hope our young people still have?" The chamber exploded into cheers, gasps, and shocked silence. Even long-time parliamentarians appeared taken aback by the intensity and clarity of McKenzie's rebuttal. The core of the confrontation lay in the clash between two political identities: McKenzie, a self-made entrepreneur with a maverick background who sees himself as a practical reformer, and Malema, a revolutionary firebrand built on populist rhetoric and far-left economic demands. McKenzie flipped the script, accusing Malema of being all bluster without substance. He cited failing EFF-run municipalities, questions surrounding the party's funding, and its inability to deliver meaningful development. "People don't eat slogans. They don't sleep under red berets. They need jobs, safety, dignity. You're too busy building your brand to build your country," McKenzie thundered. Within minutes, videos of the confrontation went viral. Twitter, X, Facebook, and TikTok flooded with reactions, most praising McKenzie's performance as a long-overdue wake-up call for Malema. Political commentator Mbiza wrote that McKenzie did not simply challenge Malema, he dismantled him, calling the event a surgical political takedown. Ordinary South Africans echoed the sentiment, many saying McKenzie had expressed frustrations that had been simmering for years. Hashtags like #McKenzie vs Malema, #Parliament Clash, and #EFF Exposed trended online as users shared quotes and memes. Supporters argued that McKenzie brought a raw authenticity missing from South African politics for years, a street-level understanding of poverty, crime, and survival. His journey from former convict to political figure gave him credibility among people who feel sidelined by elite political conversations. "He speaks like someone who knows the streets. That's why people listen," posted one user. Meanwhile, EFF loyalists rallied behind Malema, accusing the media of bias and of attempting to smear their leader. Yet even within left-leaning circles, some admitted the confrontation revealed weaknesses in the EFF's messaging and leadership style. Political analyst Stanley Dembetha commented that, for the first time in a long while, Malema appeared shaken, not because he was shouted at, but because someone matched his fire with unfiltered grassroots reality. Whether this moment will translate into electoral gains for the Patriotic Alliance remains uncertain, But one thing is clear, Malema's long-standing dominance over radical political rhetoric in South Africa is now being openly and aggressively challenged. Gayton McKenzie may not yet command significant parliamentary numbers, but on this day he captured the nation's attention. In a political landscape often dominated by empty slogans, his verbal assault on Malema was detailed, calculated, and personally devastating. The heated exchange was not just dramatic, it was a declaration and a warning. For Julius Malema, it may be the first true political reckoning he has faced inside the parliamentary chamber. And beyond the trending clips, it could mark a turning point in South Africa's political discourse, signaling that voters are no longer willing to tolerate empty rhetoric, they want results. McKenzie's fiery dismantling of Malema may have signaled the dawn of a new era of political accountability.